I'm really bad at this. I'm an extremist in a lot of ways. So I'll almost work to the bone, almost punishing myself. And then I'll equally, on the opposite end of things, I have a hard crash and say, well, okay, well, this is just me recovering from how much I worked for God over here on this other side. And really this mentality of a Sabbath lifestyle is that you don't have a crash and burn at the end of the work. It's that you are continually operating in a place where even the work becomes effortless, so to speak. And that sounds to some of you so impossible, but it is possible whenever you're submitting your life to the leadership of the Holy Spirit and you stop striving and you stop pursuing the success goals that the world sets in front of you and you start embracing a life of significance. And again, it's just reverse engineering the way that you think about success, in that the Sabbath isn't your reward for doing a good job at your work. It's that the Sabbath comes first and that the work is born of this mentality of rest. And so the Sabbath isn't a legalistic rule. What we're trying to get you to understand is that it's a rhythm, the way of life. Jesus was the Sabbath. Psalm 127:2, it says, "It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he gives his beloved sleep." I think that that really tells you it's not that he's saying that you shouldn't rise up early or go to bed late, as long as your work in that time isn't eating of the bread of sorrows, because it's his delight in giving you, his beloved, rest, not just so that you could lay back and cast off all of your responsibilities.
That's right.
But so that you can reframe those responsibilities in light of his grace and understand the finished work of Jesus Christ that empowers you to do the work. But that means you've got to create intentional margin in your marriage. That means you've got to carve out space for quietness and stillness. And you've got to give your spouse permission to be able to call you on the rug and say, listen, you are so distracted. You are so engulfed and entrenched in this work, and you have not given any attention to your family. And for you not to be offended, but for that to cause you to recalibrate and to focus in on what matters most, which is the time that you're spending with your spouse and, of course, with God.